What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sin Rojiku here, and I'm bringing you a new series of videos, pretty much showing you guys how to deal with certain characters playing as Hayate. So we're gonna jump right into it here. Shout outs to Force of Nature, of course, for giving me inspiration to do this series. He's doing how to deal with certain characters in general, so I thought it would be cool to break down how to deal with certain characters as you're playing with just Hayate. Okay, so the first thing that you have to remember with Ayane is Ayane and Hayate share a lot of the same things as far as the way they play the game. They both have very similar things that they can do. One being having a very good keep out. I would have to say Ayane has Hayate beat as far as her ability to keep people away. Her crushing ability is almost as good as Hayate. She has some really crazy, weird crushes that you may not know is a crush unless you labbed it up, including her forward punch, which is going to be 6 punch, and also her 4P, which is going to be back punch. So you have to be very careful with her crushes up close. A lot of Ayane players will tend to crush or try to do one of her crushes while at disadvantage in order to get a very good amount of damage very fast. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw you away from her, and she's going to be able to get her game started where she'll just be able to run from you the whole time and not be able to get near her. That's pretty much what Ayane's job is, to get her damage, get out, and get away. So yeah, the first things first that I want to go over is how to deal with her up close. Now I do want to show you guys something really quick. Hayate's down punch is 14 frames, and it is 0 on hit. I'm going to switch the info really quick to show you guys Ayane's, just in case you weren't aware of this already. So as you see, Ayane's down punch is 12 frames and it's 0. So with those 2 added frames, remember that Hayate's forward punch is 12 frames. Because they don't share the same damage, Hayate's forward punch will beat that. What you do after the down punch is what really matters. So if she does down punch and she does forward punch, for example, her down punch is going to make forward punch still 13 frames, but it will crush highs at 0 frames. Okay, so you have to be very careful with what you do, because if you jab, you will get hit and potentially stunned if you're on jab strings. So yeah, after back punch, you have to be very careful, because she can do back punch, she can do forward punch, and she can also, of course, just do it again. Spamming down punch is the big thing that people like to do as Ayane, because they know it's 12 frames, and most people are going to either try to jab or panic and hit a button too late, and they will get hit on counter hit, resulting in her getting more frame advantage. So another thing that I want to touch base on is how to deal with Ayane's crushes. A lot of people forget that Ayane has 2 follow-ups to back punch. Now, keep in mind, back punch is a high crush, and it does track. So if you're not careful, try to sidestep, you will get launched, and you will get comboed. And it does track. As I said, it has 2 follow-ups. One is a high kick, and the other is a low kick. Now, the thing about this is, if you duck, you can, deal with both, because one is a high and one is a low. So you can deal with both options at the same time. But the free cancel that comes with it, just doing back punch and back dashing, or back punch and blocking, is what gets a lot of people, because she can delay this stuff for a very long time. Look how long she can delay that. That's ridiculous. The high doesn't really matter, because you're going to be ducking anyway, but the delay is what really gets people. Another thing with Ayane you really want to be careful with is you don't want to let her rob you when she's unsafe. A lot of people will tend to either hit buttons in between her strings, or they will try to grab something that is completely safe. Forward punch is one of those unsafe moves that people will let go by, or they'll just hit a button in the middle of it and get launched. So you have to be careful with paying attention to her delays, because again, look how long she can delay that. That's crazy. A very, very, very used move by Ayane. A lot of Ayane players, mainly online, you'll be seeing this move, is 4-4 kick back kick. 4-4 kick back, I'm sorry. This move on block is +1, and it will jail you if you try to do anything. Now, not only is she +1, but that becomes 12 frames, and it already crushes highs. So not only does her forward punch from back turn crush highs, but it is 12 frames because it is +1 if the 4-4 kick back kick hits you on block. If you try to do a 12 frame mid punch, you will get beat, because this has damage priority. At 24 damage, Hayate's forward punch does, I believe, 18 damage. I could be mistaken, but one thing a lot of people don't know in this game: if a move has more damage than yours, just because it's the same amount of frames, it will beat you because it has more damage. So you have to be very careful with that. So the best way to deal with forward kick back kick from Ayane is you can actually fuzzy guard under it, or just completely crouch under it and get a full combo. This is something that is kind of Something you're going to need to practice. I practiced it for a couple of days and got it really good to the point where I never get hit by this move, unless it's laggy, of course. But I'm going to show you guys what it looks like if you actually successfully duck under this move and you completely eliminate her frame advantage. The only thing you would have to look out for if a person is doing this and they see you ducking, they may free cancel and go for another option, because at that point it's a complete guess. There's no way to really react to both. So you'd end up either getting under it or dealing with some kind of move on block, which will most likely be negative. So as long as you go for the duck and you see they go to free cancel, you'll still be fine if you do successfully duck under this. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like if you actually successfully duck under 4-4 kick back. So as you can see, what makes Hayate really good in this matchup is that when he goes under that, he has a 14 frame poke, which happens to act as his back turn stun, and this is all guaranteed every single time. So if you can manage to get under 4-4 kick back by Ayane, you get a lot of damage from it, and it's going to make them think twice about throwing that out there. Now Ayane does have other ways to get in, but that's primarily the one that people are going to use. So definitely make sure you get in the lab and figure out different, because Hayate is obviously not the only character who can do this. Mila can do it as well. Genfu, every character who has a back turn stun, I believe that's at least 19 or 18 frames or something like that, has the ability to get under that. So definitely be sure to go into the lab and crack it out and see what you can find. Another thing I want to touch base on is how to get near Ayane as Hayate while she is fleeing from you. That's going to be the main struggle with any character fighting Ayane, a good Ayane. They're going to be doing their best to get their damage and get out and space you out. Now, Hayate does the same exact thing, but I do believe that Ayane has a better keep out game than Hayate. So at times it feels very hard to get near her when you're playing as certain characters. But Hayate has a lot of tools to get near Ayane while she's spacing. So I'll show you guys a couple of the tools right now, which you would be using to get near her. You have his 6-6P, which is forward punch. You have his 3H plus K. Now, 3H plus K is one of those moves that you only really want to use when you know it's going to hit them on counter hit, because you don't want to deal with that move on block. It's not a very good move to use on block. So make sure you be careful with 3H plus K. You have his 2-1-4P, which is his quarter circle back punch. You have his other variations of 4-4 punch as well. He can do 4-4 punch sweep. He can do the 4-4 punch mid kick into the launcher, or he can do 4-4 punch charge punch, which is +3 on block. So he has a lot of really good options to get near her. A good Ayane player is going to do their best to stay out of the way of all these. So you have to really work your way in there and be very careful, because getting counter hit by Ayane is very easy. Now, this is another way to get in with Hayate that I like to use, because his wind dash covers a lot of ground already as it is, but to get near Ayane, you can use back punch wind dash, and as you can see, it covers more ground than just doing regular wind dash. So I can get pretty much full screen with back punch. See that? So it covers a lot of ground. You can get in and do any of his options from about mid, even to long, like super long range, as you can see. So you can get across pretty much the entire screen, full screen with this. A lot of people tend to get impatient playing with Hayate against Hayate against Ayane. They like to go for teleports and stuff. Now, Hayate's teleport on whiff is very negative, and a lot of players will tend to turn around and mash you in the face and launch you if you try to teleport on them. So be very careful with the teleports. There's other ways to get in. All right, now I'm going to go over the moves that you're going to be seeing from Ayane from across the screen, because this is pretty much the struggle right here, getting near Ayane when she's spacing you. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate some of the moves you might see from her. Okay, so as you can see, 4-4 kick back kick, which we just went over, +1 on block but can be ducked. You also have down forward free plus kick. I'm going to put the info on actually so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so down forward free plus kick is one of the main ones, because this move is 19 frames. It's a very good whiff punish. It's completely safe as well. So every time she does this, she can backdash immediately. And every time she hits you with it, she can either do that or do, I don't really know the full combo because I don't play Ayane, but she can get a combo off of that. So you have to be very careful with that. It is a mid kick, so, and it tracks as well. So you have to be very careful with this move here. She will also be using back punch as well. She'll be using forward punch to keep you out, which is going to be her 6P. Back punch is her 4P. A lot of Ayane players like to do 3KK to keep you out. That's another really good option that they like to use. Back kick sometimes, even though it's unsafe on block. So she has a lot of really good moves. The one move you don't want to run into by accident is her back ace plus K, which is her 4 free plus kick. So you have to be careful with that move, because if she hits you in the right stance with that, she can get a free back turn combo. And it's actually unsafe. It's a low punish if you block it, but it's a really good move that Ayane players like to use, and sometimes running into it is very easy to do by accident. So be careful with that one. And that's going to do it for the video, guys. I will be doing more of these, maybe one a week. Pretty much showing you guys how to combat different characters playing as Hayate. Any character requests that you'd like to see me do, please be sure to leave it in the comments, and I will take it into consideration. Be sure to leave a subscribe and a thumbs up and a comment on the video. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace.